this evening is to have what I hope is a brief public hearing on the application of the over-the-hill ATV riders for an extension of their trails. And the extension is going to be where to where?
Okay. Yeah, basically what we'd like to do is, present a, well, what we'd like to do is have an access route. And we wanna come out of Arthur Senior Road, and we wanna travel the north side of the state road down to, in the Meadows, Clipper Mart to fuel up and everything. And we'd stay on the north side of the road the whole time. We'd take the corner on the, shoulder of the road onto New Meadows Road, and then cut across into that parking lot. Just take the that way. Now, and I know supposedly there's a lot of crashes there lately. I've personally seen one right across from the fire station. I don't know about the other ones that people have seen. But I know the one that I saw, the girl was on the phone, you hear the screeching of the tires well before the impact. And then I'm like, bang, like, still on the phone. Basically, we've had a couple of rides, and people have shown up. I had one guy from Rockland show up, and he didn't have enough fuel to make the ride. He said, you know, how do I do this? I said, well, you gotta load back up, and you're gonna go down to, the gas station. And we find, like, probably on all three rides, we've had people either not have enough gas, or think there's someplace in town that would get fuel, and they wouldn't be able to do it. We've done that quite a few times when we have our cleanup in the spring. We've traveled the whole side of the road. I mean, there's plenty of shoulder, especially on the north side, a lot more than the other side.
Now,
I figured because we got a trailhead that comes out right on Arthur Senior Road,
Right.
come from behind Bill's garage.
Yep.
We come right down there, and we come out here. That's the best way to stay right on that side the whole time.
And then, if we approve this, then you take it to DOT? I'm forgetting the process.
What's that?
I'm forgetting what the process is. So, if we approve this, what's the next step?
It goes on to DOT, well, it goes on to the ATV program, main off-road vehicles, they send it to DOT, DOT comes down, and they look at it, and they do decide whether it's safe or not, you know, judging by the road and, you know, all the line of sight and any slope or anything. So they come down, they examine it, and they say, okay, this is safe enough to put up a, and then they'll also go over records as well, like the rate of vehicle crashes in the area, they'll go through all that stuff.
So,
They'll be the final voice.
just out of curiosity, how do ATVs relate once we have that traffic light in place?
What's the, you mean like,
What rules of the road do ATVs have to follow?
there could be a speed limit enforced.
Yep.
There'll be a speed limit, most likely, it'll probably be 25 on the straight stretch, 10 on the final turn, and probably 10 or 15 on the hill. So they got slow down to go up or down the hill when they're either way, and then they have to be about 10 miles an hour to slow down and take the corner and stay on the shoulder. They go up New Meadows Road and then cross into the parking lot.
Okay, yeah, I see.
The club would have that all posted anyway. DOT will bring 2 signs with them, but the club will be responsible for posting the speed limit signs and all the ATV signs.
Okay.
But there will also be a period, it can be dusk to dawn or whatever it is, and we can shut the access road down after dark, and it won't be available until sunrise in the morning. And we can also do a thing where we can come in and you can shut it off, like say after hunting season, and shut it down until after mud season. So you'll have that big period of time, say like, you know, May 15th or whatnot, until, you know, like November 25th or something like that. And after that, then it's done in ATV traffic, no traffic.
Okay.
The sleds have their own route to go anyway.
Right. Okay. So what else do we need to do with this?
There's a permit that you would need to approve during your regular meeting.
We would approve this as part of the business.
Right.
Okay. Excellent. Do you have any questions, Peter?
I have not.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions on
Does anybody, yes. We're,
I assume ATVs include snowmobiles.
What's that?
Snowmobiles?
They have their own trails.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they come down the power line, they come down through and they go underneath the overpass on the highway
Okay.
and out goes that way. So, yeah, they're all set.
excellent. All right. It appears that I have gotten ahead of myself. Thank you very much for coming in.
What's that?
It appears that I have gotten ahead of myself. So thank you. If there's no more comments, then we'll close this hearing and open the Board of Selectmen's meeting. Okay, let's do that.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The hearing hereby closed at
The hearing closed.
5:38.
And we do have a quorum, so let us be in order, starting with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And you probably want to hold on to that, or should we?
Sure.
Let's see, consent agenda.
I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
And I will second that, and we are clearly all in favor.
I'm in favor.
All right, I am too. Under Selectmen's comments and announcements, we have an annual town meeting for our budget, which will be held Wednesday, June 12th at 6 o'clock at the West Bath School Gym Lunchroom Auditorium. And the next Board of Selectmen meeting will be Monday, June 24th at 5:30, right here. Do we have public comment? We have lots of public and no comment yet. Okay.
For public comment, I put on the record that I'd like to express appreciation on behalf of this board to the public and all the public that showed up at the information session. It was gratifying, there was so much interest out there. Thank you, and that's gonna go on record, and I'm sure everybody will read it.
It was a really awesome turnout.
There were probably, what, like 45, I don't know, 50 people there.
More than I've seen
Yeah.
in a long time. It was really good. And a good lot of questions. And we have held the public hearing, and shall we deal with that now, or do you wanna wait till other?
Yeah, let's deal with the public hearing and then.
Personally, I think that the application is complete, the information is complete, and the Over the Hill ATV Club has been a very good citizen. I think we should okay it and send it off to the
I agree.
All in favor? That was a motion.
And there is the,
Okay, here's the application.
You're in business, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. We'll give you
You
the.
just got approved.
Thank you.
Could we have that map, could we have that?
Yes, you want to send that with you?
I'm thinking that should be attached to the original of the application.
sure.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You have the
Yes.
official?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Business item number 1, officially the lawn care bid.
Yes, we received 2 bids, which I will let you look at. Each bid is for a 3-year period.
Our current contract is how much money?
$4,900.
4,900. Okay.
4,900 It's not a great turnout for bids. Keep in mind that you don't have to accept either bid as presented. If you want to extend for a year or simply extend through the rest of the season, you can do that if you wish.
There's a major difference in the bids.
Yeah. Both, or all parties were provided with the same information, including
Yes.
cemeteries and all that?
Yes, correct.
There's a difference of about 50% here.
What are the bids?
5,900 per year times 3 years, a total of 17,700 on one, and 3,000, 3,100, and 3,200 for a total of 9,300 on the second. So that's a difference of about 6,500 and change. That's a lot of difference.
For the same work?
Yeah.
So how much is the what's being charged now? 49.
49 for the same job?
Yes, correct.
Does this person want to do it again?
He submitted a bid. He's the one who increased his price by $1,000 a year.
Gas is going down.
Were there any additions to or changes from the specs from the last contract that you know of?
None that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Same properties,
Right.
same requirements.
Town road.
Yeah.
And the school was eliminated from this one, right?
Correct.
From both.
So it's actually less work than was previously contracted.
Right, because the original bid was for the school, included the school.
How much long is it at the school?
Oh,
The school is not included anymore.
Oh, it's not.
It's being done by a separate contract.
well. And this starts,
July 1st?
Yes, it's for our budget year, July 1st through June 30th.
So is the lower bid more in line with what the bid would be without the school?
Actually, I think it probably would.
No, because when Lion
I
submitted
think
his
it was
bid
adjusted.
last year, it was for more. And then it was, the contract was amended when the school was,
So the 4,900 is the amended.
yes.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah.
asking.
So we sort of have to move on it tonight, don't we?
Yeah, but remember, you don't have to accept either bid as
Or
presented.
we could ask,
Lot, grass road.
I'm just concerned that that's not as thorough as it ought to be. And that,
Well, that certainly seems in line with an increase over
oh,
the last,
Right.
contract. As far as we know, how is the service performed?
well, if you look at our bamboo bed,
Yeah, I think the lawn speaks for itself today,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
loudly.
I mean, the quality when it's done is fine. It's just the responsiveness isn't where we like it to be.
which is one of the reasons why the school was removed from that contract.
Yeah,
And I recall the last couple of years, there was issues of getting the cemeteries done.
yeah.
Yes, in a timely fashion.
Mm-hmm.
This is the low bid. If there are concerns, we can,
rescind it. Meets the other qualifications. We've got, renegotiation as part of it. What we did.
Projecting all way on to. Well,
Based on what Carly said, I would like to give the guy a little bit of leeway because of the conditions this spring, the rain and the grass growing. And I did notice that it was mowed later than it should have been, so we've got the piles. But maybe what should be happening is if you get that condition, they should be raked up and taken away.
If it were only this spring that had been at issue, then I would have no question about
Yeah.
weather conditions.
It hasn't rained in 5 days and the lawn is
Yeah,
very real out front.
right, okay.
Well, there's this, the lower bidding meet all the criteria in the bid.
Apparently.
And if it's the contract, he has certain things he has to hold to, and
Is there a routine in there, written in, as to when he mows?
Not specifically.
Well, that's the problem. And the weather.
Yeah, with the snow removal, there's a certain,
yeah, it's hard with the lawn as a summer.
Yeah, I know. I know,
Once a
that's the
week,
problem.
once a couple of weeks. You don't know.
We don't have an inch
should it be like
specification.
snow care where it's, snow removal where it's, when it reaches a certain inch requirement. I mean, it's too late now. with the-
Well, I'm thinking, this is just me thinking, I'm thinking we're behind the 8 ball here, running out of time. We probably ought to go with a higher bid and stick with the devil we know. Because
Maybe.
if we need to go looking for somebody to mow the lawn in the middle of the summer,
You go with a higher bid, you say?
the higher bid, yeah, it happens to be the higher bid, yeah.
How much difference?
$3,000.
Wow.
That's why we suspect on the lower bid.
Yeah.
We think it's too low.
well, thinking back to the last 2 years of the contract, I know there are many issues many times when the lawns weren't mowed. Berry's Mill Cemetery was not mowed,
I know,
and many phone calls were made, Peter, and nothing was done.
I know,
Mhm.
I know.
Wow.
I remember the lawn tractor was broken down out here for a week or so.
Mhm.
If, if we award the bid, we can ensure that, assure the bidder that, if performance is not up to par, the contract will be canceled. Because that says we can do that.
You can do that with both of them, right?
Right.
Mhm.
We've not been as aggressive as we probably should have been about enforcing the contract. I, for one, am ready to get tough. Did you snicker?
No, I didn't, I know. That was the horse outside,
Oh.
my horse
Where's the
outside.
gavel? Oh, that's just a-
Look at that, that's money just flying right
Wow.
Let's go with the low one, see what he does, and, and be much more assertive about enforcing the contract than we have been.
Is it written into the contract that you have that
Yeah.
option?
Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
And I remember at the last go-around with the bid, he came to us specifically and, because he was a low bidder then as well, I think, and asked us specifically why he wasn't chosen,
Wasn't he late with the bid?
He was late.
something like that.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was.
late, but he's on time this year.
Well, the other thing to consider is the fact that the school changed because of poor
Because of
performance.
performance on that one.
Okay. All right, I'm with you.
All right, so, I move we accept the low bid.
My second?
All in favor? Okay. We'll make contact.
Yes. If you could just sign that you've accepted it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Friends done. The little guy's done.
And next on the agenda, bids for painting the town hall.
You'll see in your packet that you have a request for proposals for exterior painting. It includes scraping, sanding, priming of all peeling and flaking paint, replacing any broken or rotted wood, and painting all trim using super satin paint, caulking as needed. I'm not confident that we'll get a lot of response to an RFP right now.
Right.
Wondering what your view on this might be.
I think we need to try, it's been deferred, and if we are able to get get ourselves on the list, I think that makes, I think that makes sense.
Okay. Does that cover all the work that you wanted done? Do you want the building power washed?
It ought to be.
Mhm.
It ought to be, but
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we should do that too.
Peter knows that.
yeah. But it ought to be power washed regardless
And
of whether it's.
and allowed to dry, right?
And allowed to dry. Which brings us into almost August before it's ready to paint.
Correct.
Well, it'll be September before we have a painter. They're all busy this year.
And delayed by.
And the
rain.
weather's terrible.
And 8 weeks setback by years.
Mhm.
Yeah, that looks all right. Super satin paint, what does that mean?
That's what was on the last year's proposal, so I just went with it, unless you have a different opinion about what should be used.
I think super satin paint ought to be replaced with Sherwin-Williams Duration
Okay,
satin. It's very expensive, but it's also very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't need a primer.
Oh,
Doesn't it need a primer if it's on bare wood though, Peter?
It needs to be done twice. It acts as its own primer.
Yeah.
But just an overnight dry is all it takes. I love it.
Once it's dropped.
Once it's dry, yeah. And your overnight conditions have to be pretty good.
Right,
Pretty
exactly.
good. But I'd swear by it.
Can you put that down? That's good paint.
I can certainly do that.
so we'll go with this as amended?
See,
That was a motion,
So moved.
and we're both in favor? If we raise our hands, it's official.
Okay, good. We'll see what we get.
All right, tax acquired property.
We have 7 parcels that I think it would behoove us to get rid of the entire lot, put them back on the tax roll.
Indeed.
Here is a spreadsheet that I put together to make it a little clearer, which properties are available. I think several of the properties have extremely limited appeal. My recommendation would be to take some time, notify all of the abutting property owners, see if they have any interest in the parcels. And to put them out to sealed bid, rather than going through the auction process. I think it's more important for us to just get these items back on the roll, rather than putting a lot of time and effort in when we have a lot of other issues that we're dealing with right now.
Do you think a sealed bid process or put it on the?
Sealed bid process
Rather than.
is what I would recommend.
Rather
It's
than a
clean,
realtor?
it's simple. Each property would be a separate sealed bid, and all of the abutters would be clearly notified, and I would recommend getting, a decent amount of time for people to get bids in, especially since we're coming up on the 4th of July. There's holidays and people are busy. So that would be what I would recommend.
Okay.
And then once we're committed to the sealed bid process and whatever comes up,
You
comes up.
can impose a minimum bid.
Mhm.
If certain parcels, you wanna make sure you get a reasonable return, rather than just tax dollars.
Yeah,
Right.
Some of these parcels, I think it would be reasonable to just hope for tax dollars.
yeah.
The other parcels, I think you can impose a minimum bid
Mhm.
and hold to it. And just make everybody aware that there is a minimum.
Okay.
Are there any lots of any size?
There's a 19-acre parcel and a 15-acre parcel.
Where are they?
Map R3, which is generally out by the transfer facility.
Happy to share.
Thank you.
That's the, out in the back of the, salt shed? Oh,
Which ones they are?
So those are mostly off of Barry's Mill, is that
These ones.
road that you can't read the street
Oh.
on?
19 and 15, respectively.
It's very small. Legend trees.
Good things come in small packages.
Oh, that one, that's, most often removed.
Dead lots.
And then there's, for example, there's this little teeny
Yeah,
parcel, which might only appeal to.
No, what do we have?
Yeah, we're not even on the map.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah,
This is not lots.
so we'll see.
Oh, the tiny,
It's not, we're not on.
You don't have that Barry's Mill property. Just so you can be included in the conversation, if you're looking for a little extra, raise baby goats out there or something.
This is out by the recycle center, I think. No, the truck would be over here. That's the Austria.
So this is.
That's the Austria. There's no landlocked, Ridgewood Tower Road. How many lots are being sold, proposed to be sold?
7.
Thanks.
How many lots are there?
I don't even know where it is.
How do you,
The thing about these land lots.
This is so
lots,
confusing that I can't even figure it out.
You can't,
No, we're
well, those are,
off.
Now,
the
if you
map.
talk to the state, they will tell you that there's no
We
such
don't
thing
even
as
include,
landlocked.
we're not
I
even
know, and the
included.
state says that.
No, that's all the
about
Barry's Mill
Yeah.
properties.
Okay.
Like I said, just for reference, so you know what is being talked about.
But, say we contacted butters to try to stir up some interest. Now, if you were in a butter and you didn't own and you didn't pay tax on, why, pray tell?
I don't know, people have funny reasons.
And as an abutter who is not paying taxes on property that I don't like, be reasonably assured that somebody who's not an abutter, neither would want to pay taxes on the same piece of land, so why bother?
Well, there are those people who like a buffer.
One hell of a buffer.
Well, it is, but hey, if somebody wants to buy it,
Yeah.
nobody bids, then nobody bids.
Right.
Somebody
I mean,
bids.
even if you were in a situation where you said to the abutter, hey, we will release these properties to you, all you have to do is pay the taxes on it. Somebody might be interested in that.
How
Would
much?
I be interested? Not necessarily,
No.
but there are people who are interested in having property. I have not, has anybody physically been out to these properties?
Matt has.
Man.
Matt and Ron are probably the only people.
Is that,
And for the parcels that have a building on them, have we ever been in those buildings?
I have.
Have you been to Engersky? We know you've been to.
I went down to Ingursky, but I couldn't find it.
You can see it by water.
Well, I didn't go by water.
That's how I wasn't gonna walk in on the ticks, but,
Rockweed Road I've been to.
I
yeah,
can pretty much guarantee they got mountain bike trails on them.
on the,
I believe so, those are the ones I'm thinking of.
oh, yeah, we did
I think
that,
they've already put trails on them.
yeah.
Is there any road into this?
Not an existing road
No.
at this time. There may be bike
Wow.
trails.
But the state says you would have a right to.
They were old county roads years and years ago, they walked through there.
That was,
Okay.
that was where people settled very, very early on.
Do they still live there?
In spirit only.
Not that we know of.
Buried there, oh, wow.
And probably some of them now.
I don't.
Have you
I
checked
just
the
think-
accuracy of this map?
Hmm?
Anybody check the accuracy of this map?
The accuracy?
Accuracy?
Oh, in terms of, have we had a
He's
survey?
looking for a job.
No,
I was always told that assessor's maps are for assessing purposes only and they're not deemed to be accurate.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's
So-
100% true.
So what map would you check?
Well, somebody might need to get it surveyed.
That's what I'm thinking, one of these lots, I don't think town owns.
Well,
You say-
our records say that we own it.
They do? Okay.
Which one?
Check it out tomorrow.
Which one?
The big one.
The larger of the
Yeah.
two? Okay.
Right?
If there's news to the contrary, it would be important to find that out.
I think he would.
So who would
We
own
should
it?
find that.
Peter Gagnon owns that lot.
Peter, yeah. Okay.
All right, how about this? How about this? For Ingursky Moore Road and Rockweed Road, we notify the abutters and put it up for a sealed bid. Highest bid wins. Do that for those two, and then the other 5, which are really questionable. Approach the abutters first, see what we get from the abutters. If we don't get anything
That seems
from
reasonable.
them, then we'll
Mhm.
have to think of plan B. We may just have to hang on to these properties.
Yeah, I would just, if we're not going to be able to transfer them to private ownership, I think we need to know that, and then
Yeah.
just put those parcels in the name of the town.
And I'm thinking if, say we can't get any response from the abutters, or anybody else interested in it, I would think Plan B would be offer it to the abutter for example, only $247.53 per year,
Mhm.
and that's it.
Right,
Other than that, they can have it for $1. That would be Plan B.
okay.
That's just the line I'm thinking.
let's go for the motion for Plan A.